Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Get ready for a hell in the cell, because we're reviewing Vendetta.
Brought to us by Lionsgate and WWE Studios, written by Justin Shady, directed by Sylvia and Jen Soska, starring Dean Cain, Paul Big Show Wight, and Michael Eklund. Vendetta is about a detective who is pushed beyond his limits and seeks vengeance on the killer of his wife and unborn baby. What do we like about this movie, guys?
I thought it was pretty awesome that this movie was a straight up brawler. There's not too much screwing around. It's like action packed from the beginning of the movie to the end. The fight choreography was just amazing. Like everybody was just kicking the shit out of everyone.
And it was a bloody mess. Like every time someone got punched or hit with something, like the squibs they used were just like everywhere, and it was good.
There was a lot of blood, a lot of fighting, some good use of weapons, and some, unique ideas on how to create weapons. We watched the behind the scenes, so you can see that they actually put some thought into how they can create new weapons for Dean Cain to use in the movie.
I, for one, felt that the acting was really good in this movie. I felt Dean Cain and The Big Show both did a great job in playing the characters. Like The Big Show, you're used to seeing him more in a comedic role in a lot of his films because they want to poke fun of him as the giant. But in here, he played a serious badass and a really good, drug lord villain. He was a beast.
Like, he was actually pretty good at just walking up to people, grabbing them by the head and being like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I also felt that the story was entertaining. It was a little predictable at the beginning, but Dean Cain's character really went from being good cop to bad cop.
I like the style of this movie. You can definitely see the Soska's influence on it, especially with a lot of the lighting choices and the shot types. I was really impressed with just the overall look of it. Obviously this has a way bigger budget than a lot of the films we're used to seeing, but I thought it just looked really, really solid, and it's nice to not have to nitpick about the technical aspects of the film.
The story of this film was, as John said, it was pretty straightforward. It wasn't over bloated with anything that was unnecessary. It went straight to the point and then just ran its course, which was nice. So we didn't have to sit there and overindulge in stupid characters or anything like that. It was just a straightforward movie. From beginning to end, it was tight, and I enjoyed that. What didn't we like about this film, guys?
My major complaint is something that has bugged me about most WWE films, and it's the writing and the dialogue. While the acting was pretty solid given what the characters had to work with, I thought that a lot of the one-liners just seemed really awkward and forced.
I'm curious. Do you have a mutually beneficial agreement with Victor Abbott?
It's like they're always going for that quick jab, like you are actually watching Monday Night Raw, and they're just going for that one-liner to get a rouse out of the audience.
Wrong fucking answer.
I just felt like this movie didn't have anything to offer. So I just didn't walk away from it feeling like this movie was awesome or this movie was great. It just felt kind of run-of-the-mill to me.
I can agree with Trav on that. During the credits, we actually called the whole movie before we even watched any of it. Well, it's just doing some aerial shots. We're like, this is what's gonna happen. His partner's gonna die, and then his wife's gonna die, and then he's gonna put himself in prison and try and kill the Big Show.
Yeah, it was kind of heavy-handed. It's a story that didn't have any thought put into it, nothing original, no twists. I mean, as soon as we saw the warden, you guys were like, well, this warden's up to no good, right? Like, it was acted as if I'm a guy who's up to no good.
Like, anyone talking to that guy would be like, this guy's a shady fucker, and I'm not dealing with this shit.
Yeah, there was no nuance to it. There was no, maybe I'm playing it straight as a warden, but really I'm doing some secret deals. It was just like, Will, bring in the guy, I gotta do some shady fucking shit.
And that's one of the things that I didn't like was the support cast. All of them really didn't have a strong enough part to really get involved with them.
But that's not to say that we didn't like their acting, because those guys did a great job. But yeah, their characters needed some development.
It's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
I went into it and I enjoyed it. I didn't have to think too much. There was a lot of good action. The acting was good. And overall, I enjoyed everything visually about this film. It was a fun thing just to sit down and watch with your friends, and it's probably one of the better WWE studio films out there. So that being said, I'm gonna give this 3.5 relaxing backyards out of 5.
Vendetta was pretty much exactly what I thought it would be. It was just a bunch of guys fighting each other in a jail. When you have someone like Big Show and you're bringing Dean Cain into the mix, You need to see them face off, and they did. They did that multiple times, and it was great. Unfortunately, they may have done it a little too many times. There's almost too many fights that you started to not care about people because we didn't get that same character development that we did from the two leads. Though I did love the lighting, and I thought like everything looked great, I just didn't think there was a lot new to be offered with this movie. So I'm gonna give this 3 regular sized guns that look like baby guns in the hands of the big shows out of 5.
This movie was what I thought it was going to be, and then the movie continued just being exactly what I thought was going to happen. It was very predictable. It didn't really offer anything new. It looked good. The directing and the acting was fine. I think the story was just weak. It was one of the rare times where I actually wish there was more story to a movie. It's not really leaving any kind of impression on me, but the technical aspects of it was fine. And if you sit down and watch it, you're not going to be overly bored or overly disappointed. It's just, it didn't resonate with me. So I'm gonna give this 2 Superman getting punched by a Superman punch out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your favorite prison horror. Let us know in the comments, and if you haven't already, but I'm sure you have, subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our reactions, reviews, and games of What Would You Do.